Since its founding, the United States has been a land of immigrants. Hopeful individuals from around the world come to America to seek new opportunities and to achieve their goals. Yet many of these new immigrants quickly find that their ambitions hit a wall, a language barrier. Without knowing how to speak English, people face a whole host of challenges. They may not be able to find high-skilled jobs. Even if they have some technical skills, they'll be limited by their ability to communicate. This dramatically limits their earnings potential. The U.S. Census in 2000 found that immigrants in Massachusetts who had English proficiency earned nearly 3 times as much as those who did not. Immigrants may also struggle to fit into a society that largely functions in English. This creates obstacles to doing things as simple as grocery shopping to things that are more complicated like accessing medical care. If a person cannot communicate with the doctor, that could easily lead to misdiagnosis and improper treatment. On a societal level, the language barrier limits the productivity of the immigrant population, which has tremendous potential to contribute to the community. There is obviously substantial value, then, in solving this problem. Limited English proficiency has become a particularly notable challenge in Cambridge, Massachusetts in recent years. The immigrant population has boomed, coming primarily from Latin America. Immigrant growth has in many ways revitalized economic and civic life, but over 8% of the population has limited English proficiency, and over 30% speak a language other than English at home. While English as a second language programs exist to help school children, most of the individuals are adults who do not have access to the education system, even though they want and need to learn English. We had a chance to talk to Meena Reddy, director of the Community Learning Center in Cambridge that provides English education to over 1,000 students per year. Reddy put it this way: people are desperate to learn. It's difficult to make a living if you don't have fluency in English. It could be more than 10 years for an immigrant to get to where they want to go if they don't know English. This is really important. Thus, a question arises as to how people in Cambridge who want to learn English can do so. At first glance, perhaps the most obvious solution to the problem would be state-funded education programs. However, funds are tight at every level of government, pushing adult English education down in the list of government priorities. Moreover, Reddy notes that many immigrants seek education when the economy is down. Since they cannot find a job, they try to develop their skills instead. Yet when the economy is down, government funding is down as well, meaning that there is less money on hand for such programs. This makes it difficult to rely solely on government funding, and often leaves hundreds stranded on waiting lists, sometimes for years. A second course of action is to rely on courses funded by private foundations. Once again, money proves to be a limiting factor. For instance, the Cambridge Community Foundation provides courses, but these do not scale up. CCF is able to fund only 45 students per year, with each student costing nearly $45,000. As such, it becomes apparent that a sustainable solution to provide English courses to those who want it should adopt 2 key features: a decreased reliance on government funding and an ability to scale the program to many more people at a low marginal cost. In order to accomplish this goal, we propose a multi-dimensional solution that harnesses innovative approaches to education. First, we recommend using Cambridge's universities as collaborators in the effort to expand access to English education. This will decrease reliance on government funding while at the same time increasing the number of people that are working on the problem. And secondly, we suggest the inclusion of new digital and mobile technologies to increase the scope of educational opportunity. This will ensure that our program is scalable to large populations without needing to physically create more classroom space or hire more teachers. Let's talk about universities first. Cambridge is an educational hub with world-class institutions like Harvard, MIT, and a host of other colleges. This opens up 3 opportunities. 1. Universities can develop in-house programs to educate employees and their families. Reddy points out that Harvard has English programs for their employees and families, but family members are sometimes unaware that they can get education through these programs, thus ending up on waiting lists elsewhere. The city should therefore encourage universities to publicize and expand these programs. A potential way to do this would be through tax incentives. If a university can provide effective education more cheaply than other programs, then it makes sense to incentivize them to do so. 2. Universities have tremendous human capital in the form of students who are interested in tutoring and community service. These types of volunteers play a key role in English education. What is more, these types of programs have proven to be successful in educating adult immigrant populations in other communities. For example, Harvard's Chinatown ESL program uses student volunteers to provide education to Chinese immigrants in Boston's Chinatown. We recently spoke to Afang, an immigrant that expressed deep satisfaction with the Harvard program.
Yes, I'm taking Harvard Chinatown ESL classes. I sincerely hope to see them continue to develop, and I wish all the teachers happiness and joy. I admire them deeply. I hope to utilize what I learned in class and apply it to real life and work.
With diverse student populations, universities can develop similar student-run programs for immigrant communities in Cambridge. This vastly increases manpower in the English language learning effort at very little cost. Third, universities provide a largely untapped source of funding for English language learning. While existing fundraising efforts have focused on government sources and some private companies, many universities have public service grants which could be applied to teaching English in immigrant communities. Universities offer one means to provide English education to those who want it in Cambridge. Our second major mechanism is through the implementation of digital and mobile resources to facilitate distance learning. To date, online resources have seen little use in the educational community, but that is set to change. Reddy notes that many individuals in Cambridge cannot attend scheduled classes. Technology provides a way to reach these individuals and many more. There are multiple ways in which we might use this new technology. One proposal that's currently on the table is through LanguageLab.com's innovative online community that uses Second Life technology. In brief, participants create an online avatar and interact with teachers and other students in what is essentially an online social network. In doing so, students are not limited to interaction with a small population in the classroom during limited class hours. Rather, students are able to interact with a broad range of people and can do so whenever it is convenient for them. This structured engagement with English may prove to be the most successful way of learning it.
We spoke to Michael Yu, founder of New Oriental Education, about other options.
A second mode of digital language learning comes through an approach pioneered in China. The New Oriental Education and Technology Group is the largest comprehensive education group in China, and a large part of its success has been its approach to English teaching. Over 15 million students have studied at New Oriental classes since it was founded in 1993, and an overwhelming majority of Chinese students studying in American colleges have been through a New Oriental program. What is it that has made their program so successful? Well, one, local schools have always had local autonomy. They are specifically catered to the demographics of regions. And number two, they've had an increased focus on technology. This approach is highlighted by their recent partnering with McGraw-Hill, a large American textbook producer. The joint venture aims to set up a series of Max-N centers, which integrate in-class instruction with online modules and digital learning tools. From this case, we see the importance of specifically targeting certain groups and customizing the teaching strategy towards the target group. We also see that classroom learning is not enough. Students need to continue their interactions and learning outside of the classroom in order to more effectively learn and improve. While these are certainly exciting possibilities, these resources will primarily be used by people who have both the access and know-how to use computers. For this reason, we also suggest further developing language learning cell phone apps. Most individuals, including new immigrants, have access to mobile phones. For those that don't, we can set up a cell phone buyback program to buy and distribute older smartphones at a very low cost. Using the model of companies like Gazelle, we can have individuals donate old smartphones that they are no longer using for a nominal payment. We can then distribute these devices to immigrants that do not have smartphones during the course of their English education. We can provide a limited services plan on these phones while allowing users to also make use of public Wi-Fi in Cambridge. Many apps exist that review vocabulary. Yet as Mina already states, these apps could be much more sophisticated. Creating apps that can engage students may dramatically increase their ability to learn English. This could even take the form of an app that allows students to access Language Lab's Second Life community. Partnerships like the Harvard-MIT edX program synthesize our two approaches by making universities leaders on the digital frontier. This may lead to digital language learning programs in the future. The idea of giving any education, including language education, to those who need it in an affordable, quick, and scalable manner becomes possible with online and technologically based education. By using the resources that we have available to us, we can avoid the pitfalls that have plagued educational efforts in the past, such as a lack of government funding and scalability. Universities can help take on the task of educating individuals while at the same time reducing the costs associated with this education. Technology creates new modes of learning that can take English language learning outside of the classroom and into the community. By combining initiatives from universities with the possibilities of new technologies, we have the ability to create a sustainable future for Cambridge's immigrant populations.